game at Highmark with big opposition in town, and there is positional places at stake for the playoffs and for the immediate future of the top four, with Memphis trying to hold off the Riverhounds.
And it's really interesting, both of these teams coming out really convincing wins last time out. So what does the first 10-15 minutes look like? Obviously, Memphis 9-1 on the road, hostile environment. Need to weather that storm. It's going to be extremely important for Pittsburgh Riverhound and Bob Lilly's side, a team that's always going to come on the front foot. Really big matchup here tonight.
Of course, Memphis does have a game in hand, but the Riverhounds, of course, have the head-to-head battle that they won back in March. Let's take a look at some players to watch. We begin with Russell Cicerone, who's been on a tear of late.
And when a player is confident, when a player is moving extremely clever inside that 18-yard box and getting the service that he wants, it's a scary thing. Cicerone has been on a tear, like you just said, Sean. And what's really interesting about him is that his movement inside the 18 is top class. Understanding, I don't need to join the attack. I just need to stay at the focal point and finish off plays. Russell Cicerone, look for him to combine with Dequa and Mertz for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds.
Memphis 9-1 find themselves in the top three coming into the night. Philip Goodrum is a big reason why, Ricky.
And he's another clinical goal scorer. Makes his money in and around that 18-yard box. The combination play with him, Casiado, Fernando, the players underneath him is the reason why Ben Pyramid's side has had so much success. Look for him to stay wide, stay high, be that focal point, to run it behind, to come to feet. Massive game from Philip Goodrum here tonight for Memphis 9-1.
Well, it seems like every year down the stretch of the regular season, there are big games played here at Highmark Stadium. Memphis is in town tonight for a big one as two of the top four in the East tangle. The kickoff from the Steel City is next.
Feels good to be off the sidelines, doesn't it? Oh yeah, it does. That extra effort with AHN Sports Medicine got you back here. With every specialty set, custom training day, and personalized drill, you bettered your body. Now line it up. They don't see this move coming. Told you. Go next level with AHN Sports Medicine.
Fun comes in all shapes, sizes, and jackpots. These games, they've become a part of me. They get me excited, make me happy. Although I've never been one for math, I've never had more fun with numbers. The thrill, the suspense, it leaves me speechless. But if there's one thing I have to say, it's how much I love it.
There's a lot of love for the Pennsylvania Lottery, and when you see how fun it is, you'll understand why.
Cheer on the Riverhounds all season long at Mike's Beer Bar, Pittsburgh's home for local beer. With 21 TVs, over 300 local beers, and amazing food, Mike's is the place to be. Tell your friends to meet me at Mike's, Federal Street, right across from PNC Park.
Getting you set for this one here in Pittsburgh. Sean St. Jacques, Ricky Lopez, Espen back here with you. Pittsburgh getting set to take on Memphis 901 FC at Highmark Stadium, a place that always tends to be a big venue in the latter stages of a regular season. Let's take a look at the starting lineups brought to you by Armina Stone. We begin with Bob Lilly's boys, who are always up for a big test.
And you're going to see Canardo Forbes and Robbie Mertz really push and pull right next to Danny Griffin. You're going to have Cicerone shift out to the right-hand side, Dequa to the left, and obviously the back three, Williams, Ordonez, and Wheat. And we all know what Alex Dixon does. And then you have Jamali Waite as a goalkeeper. Really attack-minded, really talented starting 11 for Bob Lilly's side. For
Memphis 901 FC coming in, looking to make it 2 wins out of 2 after a win over Hartford last time out. And we mentioned Goodrum, Kisiedu, and Fernando will support him.
And it's that front three that's really the thing that's going to give the success to Memphis 901. You have Malloy, Paul, and Allen have to have a good balance, so know when to step and when to drop. You don't want to get caught in transition against this Riverhound side.
4th hosting 3rd in the Eastern Conference of the USL Championship. Memphis do have a game in hand, but Pittsburgh Riverhounds have already beaten Memphis 901 once this season. They're looking to make it 2 wins out of 2 as Ben Pierman's side in their blue and blacks kick us off here at Highmark Stadium, going from right to left here on ESPN+. Excited for this match tonight. Excited to have you with us as well. Sean St. Jacques, Ricky Lopez, Espen on hand for this one. Last time out, Pittsburgh winning 2-0 at Indy 11 to force this really important 4th versus 3rd matchup. Memphis 901 FC coming off a 3-1 victory over Hartford Athletic. Pittsburgh has dominated the all-time series, 3 wins out of 3, including a 3-0 victory at Memphis on the opening night of the regular season. Memphis has never scored against Pittsburgh. They've never gotten a point off of Pittsburgh, but they have a point to prove tonight here at Highmark.
And it's something that Ben Pierman is going to know. Really use that to motivate his boys. Not scoring a goal, not having any points. Something that he's not really accustomed to how this Memphis 901 side, the success that they've had in this 2022 USL Championship. So look for them to come out extremely motivated, confident after their last result. So what does this look like for the first 10-15 minutes?
Again, it was a 3-0 victory for Pittsburgh. That was all the way back on March 12th, the opening night of the regular season. They won on the road there and then beat Memphis 2 times back in 2019 as well. Pittsburgh are on a 3-game winning streak. They're unbeaten in their last 7. The last time Pittsburgh lost, you have to go all the way back to June 25th. Tampa Bay came here and put 5 past them in a 5-2 victory. But Bob Lilly said, listen, the alarm bells went off. We had a lot of things to talk about. Biggest thing was being more compact. There was a tough 6-game run where they hadn't won a game that led into that Tampa Bay game and was part of that difficult stretch at the early part of the regular season, including a game that Bob Lilly told us about where they lost to Charleston. He said that was embarrassing. That was a game that we really needed to learn from and bounce back from. But what a run they've been on since the game here against Tampa Bay back in June.
And that's all you can ask for, just a reaction. Obviously, you're not going to put your best foot forward in terms of style of play. These players are human. They're always going to have an off day, heavy touch, heavy legs, whatever it may be. Things that come on and happen through a whole 10-month, 11-month season. But it's just that reaction. There's one thing that you can always control. It's that's your effort. And the Bob Lilly side will never lack that. Always putting 100% every single play. And when you go down, you don't get the result you want. What's the next game like? What's the next play like? You know, I'll talk about reaction, and boy, had this Riverhound side really flipped that script.
Jamali Waite is in goal tonight for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. He got that collection off a pass in from Chris Allen. Was signed back in March before the early parts of the season, and what a year he's had. First year in a Pittsburgh Riverhounds shirt for Bob Lilly's group. I think one of the other things that was a big turning point was getting Robbie Mertz back. Obviously, he had left to go play for Atlanta United 2 before the start of this season. He's a Pittsburgh native. This is his city, loves playing for the team, and having him back in the fold seemingly has been a huge deal for Bob Lilly's side, I should say, as well. And he's already been a big impact player in the midfield, but also in the attack.
It just gives you that extra bit of creativity that plays in the pocket between lines. So look for him to play in front of Danny Griffin, Canardo Forbes, and underneath Cicerone and Dequa. Really that link-up player. And what that really does, it gives the freedom to Alex Dixon to push out to this right-hand side and have the freedom to get into the attack, do his defensive duties, and just be a workhorse for Bob Lilly's side. It's a really good high fluidity in the way that they play.
On the Memphis 901 side of things, Ben Pierman's side a little bit banged up. 3 notables out tonight through injury. Niall Logue has a knee injury. Derek Dodson not available with an ankle injury. Of course, John Berner has been dealing with that Achilles injury as well, the goalkeeper for Memphis. But many of the regulars are in there. The depth might be under a little bit of a question tonight, but you look at what Ben Pierman has at his disposal. Philip Goodrum, Luis Fernando, what Aaron Malloy has brought this season coming over from League One side. Forward Madison, Leston Paul, and of course we all know how good Laurent Kissiedu is as well. Still plenty of attacking strength. Pittsburgh with some press here. Dixon trying to make things happen. Shane Wheat coming up from the back. Lovely ball in from Dixon. Canardo Forbes is into the penalty area, chopping it back. Griffin in the area. Handball appeal. Dixon had his hand up. Referee Brad Jensen says no. Play continues. Griffin to Mertz. Alex Dixon trying to sweep one into the penalty area. Allen on the ricochet, can't get it back. Wheat recycles it. Trying to flare it back into the path of Dixon, and it's out for a goal kick.
It's always going to be interesting and a big challenge for Memphis 901 and how they play out of the back with the high press of the Riverhounds. You want to be extremely clean, decisive. And if they press it, there's no harm in just going route one, putting the ball in behind, making the back line of the Riverhounds turn and face their own goal. This Riverhound side is just so good. If you give them any time and space in and around that 18-yard box, the combination play, so talented. They can hurt you in different ways.
Let's take a look at keys to the game today. Brought to you by Icy Light. And for Pittsburgh, we've already seen a little bit of it, Ricky. That midfield battle is going to be crucial.
In the midfield battle, talking to the Riverhounds, you don't want to get caught in transition. You want to get on the ball, whether it's Griffin, Forbes, Mertz, really dictate tempo, move the ball from left to right. Weather their storm. Memphis 901, we just talked about it. We saw a bit of it. Don't want to give any sloppy turnovers in your defensive half, because this Riverhound side, once they're clinical, and that's another key to the match, if they're clinical in front of goal, it's going to be a long night.
Both teams have plenty of attacking power behind them. Two of the best in the East, maybe in the entire USL Championship on display here tonight. There's Malloy, the Irishman, trying to thread it in behind. Couldn't find a teammate, and Waite picks it up. Malloy scored in the win over Hartford last time out. His 8 assists are tied for the best in the league. Jeremy Kelly as well on the bench tonight. He has 7 assists this season in the USL Championship. And the Aaron Malloy story is a really interesting one. Again, he shined for Carl Craig's forward Madison last season in USL League One. And I remember having the chance to talk with Carl Craig about Aaron Malloy. And every time I brought him up, he said he shouldn't be playing in this league. He said he's just too good to be here. And he's like, we're lucky to have him. He said next year he has to move up. Someone surely will take a chance on him. And lo and behold, Ben Pierman did just that, and it's proved to get huge dividends for this Memphis 901 FC team. There's a shot. Oh my word, it's in! Memphis, just like that, through the midfield, they find a way through. And against the run of play in the early moments, Ben Pierman's side have the lead at Highmark. Seemingly out of nothing, this.
And I think it just takes everyone in the stadium by surprise. Brilliant individual play here from Fernando, just splitting these two players from the Riverhounds, and I think just catches Waite a bit by surprise. See, as he's trying to get his plant foot, doesn't see it through the traffic in front of him. But talk about individual brilliance and an individual effort from Fernando to put this side up 1-0 within 10 minutes. Of the dream start for Ben Pierman's boys.
Second goal of the season for Luis Fernando. What a goal it was. He chopped it back from left to right to full weight in goal. Pittsburgh on the other end. Muse denies Dixon. An immediate response.
That's something that we highlighted, just that midfield battle. You don't want to have those second balls. It's just too much talent.
Mertz couldn't quite curl it past Muse. And it's over the top and out as Bob Lilly's side. Don't take it lightly here.
Talk about reaction again. Alex Dixon, very good 1v1 player. A little change of pace. It's going to be really interesting to see how he deals with Seacrest, and then Mertz finds a nice little pocket on top of the 18-yard box, trying to bend it in to that far post, excuse me. It's going to be a bit frustrated as it goes over the bar.
Well, Ricky, we talked about Memphis weathering an early storm. They've done more than that, and they have the lead early, although Pittsburgh are continuing to try to get this back. That takes a deflection going towards goal. Muse had the best look at it, saw it was going to go right over the top and out for a goal kick, and he's not thrilled with the way Memphis has responded going up a goal. I have to say how well that goal was taken by Luis Fernando as well. In traffic after the ball was won back, high up the field, and it didn't look like he had much on. Made something, a big something, out of not much right there. Ball forward for Goodrum to try and chase. He swarmed on that far side, and it's out for a throw. 13 goals this season for Philip Goodrum. That takes a deflection as Dequa puts some pressure on. Muse able to collect after it took a weird hop inside the penalty area. Well, Highmark is still lively. It's almost as if the goal didn't go in. I know it's still very early in this contest. That's a foul and a free kick going Memphis's way. Brad Jensen, our center official, goes over and gives a word of warning there as Memphis have a free kick.
He's pointing at the sky like he can't see.
Ben Pierman looks on.
Yeah, it's an easy foul. Just coming through the back of Goodrum. Williams does. It's when you have a focal point like Philip Goodrum, just so good, requires so much attention. And as he occupies the center back, that leaves space for Casado Fernando to operate. That's where the goal comes from, just that soft pocket right in front of that back line.
There's Bob Lilly. As Malloy's ball in was rather dangerous. It did take a deflection off of Wheat, although he disagrees. Memphis have a corner. Boy, every Riverhounds defender contesting that Wheat didn't touch it. It's going to be a corner kick. Memphis get a set piece out of it. Ball was looking for Patrick Segrist, who was making a good run in behind. And Ben Pierman, well, he can't really smile. It's an early goal, but he knows that Pittsburgh have plenty of time to work their way back into it. Malloy has a set piece. It's good service. Wade gets a hand to it to just about get it out of the penalty area. Leston Paul recycles it. Back in it comes, nearly falls for Kisiedu. Malloy can hit them, but he hits it wide.
It's really interesting. 13 minutes in, it seems like Memphis 9-1. It's the first to every second ball. Riverhounds unable to clear this ball convincingly, and then you just see a swarm of blue jerseys in and around that 18-yard box. Going to find that second ball, get that second phase, that second action in the attack. So far, so good for Ben Pierman's boys in the way that they're playing in their attacking half.
Pittsburgh at home this season 10 games, they've won 8 of them. They've only dropped points twice, the draw and of course the loss here to Tampa Bay, the only 2 blemishes. 7 matches unbeaten, 6 of them have been wins. Memphis comes in obviously in a good run of form. Decent away record for Memphis 901 this season. 5 wins, 3 draws, 2 defeats. Deekwa to Mertz. Wheat centrally. He's able to get Danny Griffin involved. Danny Griffin's been an Iron Man for Pittsburgh since joining them back in 2020. Good ball in from Dixon, nearly found Cicerone. Wasn't quite able to size it up. Good battle for it on the edge of the penalty area. Memphis just about get it away, but Mikel Williams, making his 100th appearance tonight in the USL Championship, sends it back forward. Memphis get a goal kick.
It's really interesting to see the defensive positioning from Memphis 901. As this ball comes into their defensive half, you can just see how low to mid-block they're sitting, trying to clog all the passing lanes, making the Riverhounds play around them, not through them. And with it, you're going to have a lot of success if you're Bob Lilly's boys. Move the ball extremely quick, very clean, and have to have a lot of movement, pulling players out of position, opening gaps for players like Robbie Mertz to come in, Forbes and Griffin to pick apart and break lines.
Wait with the outlet pass. It finds its way to Kenardo Forbes, the all-time assist leader in Pittsburgh Riverhounds history and USL Championship history. Cicerone switches the point of attack to Dixon. Mertz. Dixon, lovely little give and go between him and Griffin. Dixon couldn't keep it in play, and Memphis regained possession.
This is something that the Riverhounds are just so good at. 1-2s around the box, a lot of movement, but I think if this ball comes back and Dixon takes the ball with his right foot, he has a better angle to push it towards goal and really put this Memphis 901 defensive unit on a lot of pressure.
Hounds fans, if you need help with your insurance, brokerage coverage, and consulting needs, make sure to call Epic Insurance, a proud partner of your Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Shot St. Jacques, Ricky Lopez Espin here with you. Early goal for Luis Fernando has Memphis 901 FC in front inside the first 17 minutes of this very important middle of August fixture. By the way, that Luis Fernando goal is the first ever goal Memphis has scored head-to-head against Pittsburgh in their 4th meeting against them. Could that lead to Memphis getting their first points off of Pittsburgh as well? We'll have to see how the tale continues to unfold. This is Zach Carroll at the back, all the way back to Trey Muse. Muse dallied on it a little bit too much there, just about got it away. Kisiedu dispossessed. Malloy tried to find Allen. Allen thought he was fouled. Play continues. Sent back by Arturo Ordonez. This is Williams. Bob Lilly's waxed lyrical about the impact Ordonez has made on this Pittsburgh Riverhounds team multiple times this season. It's one of the hallmarks of Bob Lilly's teams in general, is his defensive setup. Part of the consistency he has had going back to the Rochester days, but also since he's taken over this Pittsburgh Riverhounds team. It's actually his 151st game in charge tonight in all competitions. And he has a franchise record 80 wins in his 5th season in charge. Memphis head coach Ben Pierman at one point was the interim head coach, of course, of Memphis 901 FC, but the progress that was made under his tutelage last season saw Tim Howard, the sporting director and company, say that we're going to give you the chance, and boy, has he run with it this season. And Memphis is off to their best start in franchise history. And that was one of the talking points coming in to the night. As good of a start as Memphis has had, these are the kind of games that they're not as accustomed of being a part of this late in the season. But boy, what a first 19 minutes they've played.
It's been very good for Ben Pierman's boys. It's been really good defensively as well. The relationship between Carroll and Smith in that center back pairing has been spot on. Playing against Dikwa and Cicerone, there's a lot of movement. It's always a challenge against any opposition. That give and go understanding as one comes short, one runs in behind.
There's a chance for the visitors to add on to the lead here. Decent ball across Kisiedu's touch. Well, what's the signal here? No signal from Brad Jensen. I think it's a goal kick. I think there was miscommunication between him and the assistant referee. We get another look at it with Fernando wreaking more havoc.
Just so good, 1v1, so tricky. Alexa go to his right foot, was preferred, and cut it back, and it does look like it comes off a Riverhounds player. They're just all obviously so good as well. Memphis 901, when they get into that attacking phase, whether it's Goodrum, Kaseyadu, Fernando, three players that play terrifically good together. Fernando shifts out to the right-hand side. It's Kaseyadu coming down the center of the field, and Goodrum peeling off to the left-hand side. It's a hard foul there.
Griffin through the back of Malloy. Another free kick for Memphis, 20 minutes gone here at Highmark, and despite some good Pittsburgh flurries and a few chances that they've created, Memphis are in control at the moment, looking to add on to a Luis Fernando goal. Here's the last challenge.
And again, it's just a second ball. And it's Malloy just getting in front of Danny Griffin. It is a hard challenge from Danny Griffin right in the middle of the field.
Well, one of the perks of Highmark is you can hear the coaches quite a bit. Ben Pierman was giving the fourth official an earful.
And I'll tell you what, I think he does have an argument to be said. It's been some really hard challenges.
Malloy with great service again. He's always very consistent from set pieces, but Memphis don't create anything from it. Dikwa comes out with it. Nice touch there to find Wheat as Griffin gets out of trouble with Kisiedu on his back. Far side, Nathan Dos Santos under some pressure from Fernando, who continues to make life difficult for the Pittsburgh back line. Griffin marauding forward for the hosts. Bernardo Forbes is offside. And that ends the attack.
And it just comes to this defensive positioning from Memphis 901. And Smirts that's dropping back next to Dos Santos on that back line, trying to pick up the ball and get into the rhythm of the game. Defensively, Memphis, it's Allen, Malloy, and Paul really clogging up the middle of the field right in front of the back four. Not a lot of space to pick apart through combination play, and when they step together. That's why you see Bernardo Forbes running off sides. You think Ben Pierman really had this tactical session throughout the week to make life extremely difficult for the Riverhounds?
And to be fair, Bob Lilly, when we talked with him earlier this week, we asked him, was there a player or two that you're looking to really key in on and try to slow down as Dikwa wins a free kick? Brad Jensen is going to go to his pocket here, and he's going to book Zach Carroll. And Ben Pierman is probably wondering, well, why didn't you do that on the other end? But it's a free kick, and Zach Carroll has to be careful. Very early booking to pick up.
Yeah, it's something that Ben Pierman's not going to want to see a center back on a yellow card 23 minutes into this game. The movement around him, he needs to be extremely disciplined in his positioning and the challenges that he goes into. Don't want to give the referee any decision to pick up a silly second yellow.
Well, Brad Jensen continues to hear it from Ben Pierman on this near side, and Ben Pierman is going to see yellow as well. Well, again, to be fair to Ben, that challenge that Griffin had on Malloy probably should have been a yellow card. It wasn't. And then, of course, his player gets booked for the very next challenge. Pittsburgh from the set piece. Decent effort, more than decent from Kenardo Forbes. Just couldn't hit the target. Muse saw it rather well, but that was traveling from the captain.
And he doesn't need a lot of space to put this ball on a rope, does he? Tell you what, it looks a lot closer in this second look. Kenardo Forbes able to produce a bit of magic out of nothing. You don't want to give him that time and space on top of that 18-yard box.
Oh, Deekwa falls kindly for him. Deekwa! Can't finish. And I think it's out for a goal kick. Oh, what a chance for Pittsburgh to equalize.
I think it comes just too fast for him to react. The ball straight over the top. He splits Graham Smith, then Zach Carroll. And I think if he goes with his right foot, he has a better angle to open up his hips. Elects to go with his left that closes it. Really lets him, when he tried to pick out this right-hand side, just pulls it wide. But what an opportunity that is for Albert Deekwa.
Cicerone finds Forbes. Plenty of room for Alex Dixon. Dixon into the middle. Takes a big block and deflection on the way through. It's out for a corner as Segrist couldn't save it.
And that's what Alex Dixon brings you. Just stays high and wide. Really nightmare to defend. As you have the players in the middle pick up the ball, they always know they had this outlet to the right-hand side. So good 1v1. It's really interesting. He likes to put on the brakes, try to pick out a player hanging out on that 18-yard box. Give credit to Memphis 901 and their defensive efforts.
Before the corner is taken, some pleasantries exchanged inside the penalty area. Brad Jensen just making sure it doesn't escalate. Kenardo Forbes will send this in to the near post. Not a definitive touch on it. Alex Dixon back for Forbes. Forbes' ball in, headed away, out of danger. Pittsburgh can recycle it. Mertz just sends it back into the mixer. Muse is there to catch. But Pittsburgh are building some forward momentum these last few minutes. The reigning title holders visit in-state rivals as the USL on ESPN2 continues. Touch on that in a second. Deekwa's ball into the middle. Muse is able to corral as Memphis basically gave it right back to Pittsburgh there. And some concern there on the face of Ben Pierman, although I think he might be still not thrilled with the officials here. Just to finish the point, Orange County looks for a late season surge against Sacramento Republic Sunday, September 18th, 5 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Of course, Sac Republic in the U.S. Open Cup final against the defending champions in the USL Championship. That's next month on ESPN2. Orange County just picked up a big win over Phoenix Rising the other night to keep their playoff hopes alive with just about 2 months left of the season. And I think we've shown you enough of the coach's visuals here to tell you how much this game means in the East. Make no mistake about that. Luis Fernando's goal has Memphis in front midway through the first half here at Highmark Stadium in Pittsburgh. As we expected, the Riverhounds have responded, just haven't found the back of the net. Deekwa's come the closest. Dixon's on the attack again. Dixon across. Not quite there. Mertz tried to curl one. It was with his off boot, and it's out for a goal kick.
And it's a really good attack here from the Riverhounds. Again, it's Alex Dixon just on this right-hand side. If you're a striker, if you're Albert Deekwa, if you're Cicerone, you need to make that near post run. You can't have Kenardo Forbes coming in late. If you make that near post run, you pull out a Memphis 901 defender. That's going to leave a lot of space for that second attacker to join in. That's why you see so much traffic as Dixon's trying to shove this ball in. Comes out to Robbie Mertz, who doesn't get his hips around it. But it's just those little things. As you play a two-man front line, you need to be able to work together, not only with the ball, but without the ball, and the movement, creating space for each other.
Ball floated forward, headed out for a Kisiedu throw. 5 goals, 4 assists for Laurent Kisiedu this season in a Memphis shirt.
Just so silky on the ball, isn't he?
Oh, no question. One of the best.
Makes it look like it's a part of him. His touch, his technique, how comfortable he is with pressure on his back. That plays in the pocket, such a big part of going forward for Ben Pierman's boys.
And Laurent Kisiedu, it feels like, is one of those players, even when he doesn't score or get an assist, he still makes an impact. You have to have him in there. And that really is one of, I think, the highest compliments you can give a player, especially in soccer in particular. He's the target of this ball in behind. That's a dangerous header from Weed. He could have gotten that wrong there. But luckily, his goalkeeper, Jamali Waite, was on his toes. Tough part about those is I don't even think Shane Wheat turned his head before he headed it back to his goalkeeper. That's when the goalkeepers have to be ready. Got to have your head on a swivel. Dos Santos keeps that in for Pittsburgh on the far side. Half an hour played. Luis Fernando, his 2nd goal of the season. Early stages inside of 10 minutes has Memphis in front. This is a wonderful ball for Russell Cicerone to run onto. It's been very good of late for Pittsburgh. He wins a throw deep in the Memphis end here. Mentioned at the top, 9 goals and 3 assists in the last 14 games for Cicerone. Wheat does really well to find Dixon. Dixon chops it. It was deflected on the way through. Dos Santos. Williams for Mertz. Wheat dispossessed by Kisiedu and fouled. Wheat commits the foul. Ben Pierman says, how about now? Brad Jensen is going to come over, I think, and give Shane Wheat a yellow card here for that challenge, and Wheat is booked.
And rightly so. If Kisiedu gets on this ball cleanly going back the other way, and the break is on. The thing with the Riverhounds, they commit so many numbers forward, so the silly turnover, they're out of position and leave themselves vulnerable into the attack. You can just see Shane Wheat just coming in and grabbing a lot of Laurent Kisiedu. It's always going to be a yellow card.
Sent forward by Segrist to the opposite side. Searching ball for Goodrum, who was well shielded, and Jamali Waite comes up with it. And Jamali Waite was trying to make it back-to-back clean sheets tonight. It was quickly thwarted by Luis Fernando. It's Jamali Waite's first pro season as well here with the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. It's been a tremendous one so far. And that's one of the things that's been so good about Bob Lilly's run here. Every year they find a way to be in contention. No matter how many pieces come and go and many changes he makes to the core of the squad, they're always in the mix in the East, and they are again this season.
And they're having a lot of success getting into the final third. Just not quite clicking just yet for Bob Lilly's side. Maybe it's a combination play that's failing them, the movement, how clean they are, how decisive they are. Once they get into and in around that 18-yard box, you can just see there was a brilliant opportunity for Dixon to connect the pass to go out the other way. Pass just unable to connect.
Ball in from Kisiedu. Cleared away. Memphis keep it. Always a good crowd here at Highmark. Making sure the ball gets back into the field of play. Both sides come very close on multiple occasions in the early stages here. Just haven't found the net as Kisedu's ball in. Waite has to reach up and grab it. Williams tried to thread it through for Griffin. Segrist was there on the cover.
And again, it's just that breaks down, trying to break through lines of Memphis 901's defensive unit. That ball connects. Danny Griffin is on the half turn facing forward with a lot of runners, a lot of options going back. The inability to connect that ball, it gives the opportunity for Memphis 901 to defend again.
Dikwa in behind again. Muse comes up with the save. Great ball behind by Griffin. Dikwa forces the save and gets it for a corner.
And as Griffin picks up this ball between lines, it's a brilliant little chip ball. Good movement from Albert Dikwa, playing off the shoulder of Carroll in between him and Smith. It's a great first touch. He's just trying to sneak that in to that near post. And I'll tell you what, that's a big time save from Trey Muse. Down to his left-hand side to deny that man the opening goal.
From the ensuing corner, headed out only as far as Mertz initially. Ricocheted around. Memphis wanted a handball in the middle of that scramble. In the end, Pittsburgh quickly get it back in with a throw. Celebrating its 75th anniversary, Select is proud to be official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. Choose what you play at www.selectsportamerica.com. Select, League's Choice, Player's Choice. Sean St. Jacques, Ricky Lopez Espin here with you. Highmark Stadium. Memphis got off to the dream start inside of 10 minutes to take the lead. Luis Fernando scoring in the 8th minute. Since then, Memphis has created a few chances, but it's been all Pittsburgh. As Cicerone, lovely turn there. Dixon is in behind. Dixon across. Couldn't find Dikwa. Too far out in front of Forbes. Pittsburgh getting closer and closer.
Good work here from Russell Cicerone, bringing in 3 Memphis 901 defenders and then just pushing this ball out at the right time. Good first touch from Dixon. If you're Albert Dikwa, you need to get on your bike and be hanging around that 6-yard box. If you get on the end of that, that's an easy opening goal for your team. Alex Dixon has been so active on this right-hand side, just pressing and asking questions of Segrist and the shape of Memphis 901. That's why when you're Bob Lilly's coach, you have that fluidity, that rotation in the middle of the field to pull players apart and can hurt you around the edges, through the middle, whatever it may be.
Mertz on the corner. Goes towards the far post. Wheat couldn't quite redirect it. Griffin couldn't keep it alive with Dixon nearby. And Memphis will regain possession as Ben Pierman's group snuffs out another Pittsburgh onslaught.
Yeah, he's going to want his players in the middle of the field to get on the ball a bit more. Whether you're Paul, Allen, Malloy, players that are the engine for this side, who take the sting out of the game. As you've been under pressure for the last 5-10 minutes here, put your foot on the ball, get the confidence within the team again, get a bit of possession, move the ball from left to right.
Oh, there was miscommunication there. Dikwa wins a corner out of it. Well, Carroll was waiting for Muse, who was waiting for Carroll. Neither of them deal with it, and they give away a set piece. Well, that's a situation where somebody has to take charge. It's almost like a fly ball in baseball. Someone has to call the other off. Never happened. Ball in from Forbes. He's ricocheted over by Williams. And the attack again ends. But more warning shots for Memphis towards the end of this first half. And to be fair, we've seen this in years past with games involving Pittsburgh where they go behind, they keep going. And Bob Lilly said in the past that the key is that you do keep going, because at some point you're going to get the reward. The worst thing you can do is think that because you're missing chances that it's not going to come. Pittsburgh, over the years, always, especially here at Highmark, always push to get back into games when they are behind.
And the most important play for a professional soccer player is always the next one. You always have to have short-term memory. If you miss a ball, it doesn't matter. What's the next play look like? What's the next attitude? Always wanting that another bite at the apple. There's too much talent on this side, on this field, for both sides to have someone hang their head when they miss an opportunity, because you know these opportunities are going to come. Just having the talent to be in the right spaces at the right time. And whoever makes it who's more clinical is going to walk out of here with all 3 points.
Well, we said it before the game. You said it, Ricky, and your keys got to be clinical. If you're Pittsburgh, they haven't quite been that yet, but they've created much the better opportunities even since the Luis Fernando goal went in inside of 9 minutes. This is Segrist. Couldn't quite get it through Danny Griffin, but his side will win a throw. From that throw, Wheat all over it. Forbes sort of miscued that on the turn. Malloy trying to head it back into a dangerous area. Wheat deals with it, but can't find Dixon. Great ball by Segrist to find Allen. Good ball back into the penalty area by Kisedu. Now Leston Paul trying to keep it alive, but Pittsburgh come away with it. Mertz trying to find Cicerone. Dealt with by Reese Buckmaster defensively. That's a misplaced pass. Kisedu couldn't quite get it past both defenders there. Ordonez crucially stepping in. And again, Pittsburgh give it back high up the field. This is how they conceded the first goal. Allen, Kisedu, Malloy. Waiting for some help. Buckmaster in support. Fernando, the goal scorer. Memphis could have made a lot out of that. They still have possession. Malloy. And Memphis are pushed back. Pittsburgh deal with that very nicely after giving the ball away. Ball forward for Goodrum, who hasn't had much of a sniff at it so far. For Memphis 901. This is Kennardo Forbes for Pittsburgh. 3 men around him. He gives it up. Malloy wins it back. Leston Paul. And Memphis will reset. Mike's Beer Bar isn't only home for the famous steak on a stone, but it also the official watch party location of your Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Meet me at Mike's. Nice cover there by Dixon. Kisedu pushes him away as if to say, come on, you can't have both ways here. You can't be good on both ends of the field. But he is, Alex Dixon. Great job covering things up there. Was a star on that really good Roddy Jaidi Hartford Athletic team a couple of seasons ago that made it to the playoffs. And actually got knocked out by Russell Cicerone's St. Louis side, St. Louis FC. Of course, now defunct, sadly.
It's really interesting. 43 minutes into this game. There's been far too many turnovers. Losing possession far too easily for both sides. No one really trying to make their dominance felt. Stringing 5, 10, 15 passes together. It's been back and forth, very cagey in the middle of the field. So I think, like we said in the keys to this match, the midfield battle really is going to take both hands of this game and play it on their terms and insert their dominance.
Dixon lets fly. But in transition, he can't hit the target. in the latter stages here of the first half, but he continues to be a threat for the Riverhounds.
And they have a lot of success as Riverhounds. So when they change their point of attack, as Memphis 901, they love to squeeze their defensive shape that leaves a lot of real estate for Alex Dixon to work and operate in. Just pulls this one far too wide. But again, like you said, Sean, he's been extremely bright and active, as he is always. It's just really interesting, the players in the middle of the field. There's so much talent, so much technical ability and vision, whether it's passing range, demanding the general of the field. There's a lot of wayward passes.
Oh, what a touch by Goodrum. Philip Goodrum! Couldn't hit the target. I think the whistle may have gone before he took the strike. Well, that's the first real chance he's had. Casady with a hopeful ball forward. What a touch it was by Philip Goodrum, but I think the whistle would have undone his great move anyway. And it appears, I think, that the flag was up on the far side.
Unit scored 13 goals in a season by chance. Obviously, you just see the quality that he possesses. 3 players around him, able to bring that ball out on a string, no problem. And then evade a couple defenders. I think he does get called in for a bit of a foul here. We'll take a look at it. It's onside by chance.
It's very tight on the offside decision. Did he handle it when he controlled it? That was the only other question I had about it. 2 added minutes here, by the way, at the end of the first half. Dikwa took a deflection on his chip into the middle. Weston Paul has to be careful here dealing with it. Shoulder to shoulder, says the referee. Forbes won it back cleanly. Pittsburgh get on with it. Little give and go between Dikwa and Dixon. Forbes to Wheat. Wheat finding Canardo Forbes. Forbes looping one towards Cicerone, who couldn't find Dikwa with his head. Griffin. Pittsburgh continue to knock on Memphis's door here. Mertz. Williams. All the way back to Ordonez. And Memphis do nicely there to force Pittsburgh all the way back. 1 minute of the minimum of 2 still to go. Mertz. Delicately placed for Dos Santos. This is Cicerone trying a delicate touch of his own, put too much on it in tight quarters there, and it goes out of play.
I think he makes the wrong decision here, Cicerone, just trying to turn the corner. There's not enough space to get the better half from Graham Smith. You just connect possession, play it back in, rotate your run once again, get into dangerous area. That's where you score all your goals.
That guy's got a bloody eye from an elbow, no call. You commit 1 foul, book it. Absolutely, I can.
Hughes sends it forward for Memphis. And gives it right back. Do Pittsburgh have enough time to create one more opportunity at the end of this first half? Dikwa to Dixon. They might just have enough. Dixon, though, is dispossessed beautifully by Segrist. And that is how the half ends here at Highmark. An early 8th minute goal from Luis Fernando has Memphis ahead here in Pittsburgh. A big game coming into it. Memphis have played their part. Pittsburgh have more than responded, but they haven't found an equalizer. And a big second half to come here at Highmark, with Memphis leading by 1-0.
Feels good to be off the sidelines, doesn't it? Oh yeah, it does. That extra effort with AHN Sports Medicine got you back here. With every specialty set, custom training day, and personalized drill, you bettered your body. Now line it up. They don't see this move coming. Told you. Go next level with AHN Sports Medicine.
Sean St. Jacques, Ricky Lopez, Espen back here with you. Memphis leading Pittsburgh by a 0-0 here at Highmark Stadium. Third place, leading fourth at the moment, but a big second half still to come in this one. Getting down to the latter stages of the regular season. The push to the playoffs continues here in both conferences. Here's the upcoming schedule, Ricky, for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Some winnable games coming up after tonight before a big showdown against Lou City, but this game does mean a lot for Pittsburgh, especially with Memphis ahead of them.
And it's a massive game to keep grabbing ground in this Eastern Conference. Obviously, you have the Red Bulls here, you go to Atlanta, have Charleston, and then you're at Loudoun. If you're asking Bob Lilly, he's going to demand you grab maximum points on all those games, and then you host Lou City, which is going to be fireworks. It's going to be a massive opportunity, and who knows what happens with Lou City and Tampa Bay Rowdies that are playing right now. But massive opportunity, massive stretch of games for Charleston or Pittsburgh Riverhounds.
For Memphis 901 FC, a huge trip to New Mexico after this one, and they have some tough ones as well coming up. The Champions in September, but also Birmingham Legion, who are very much still in the mix.
And talk about travel, going to Orange County. Yeah. Never going to be an easy out there.
Yeah.
But again, Ben Pierman's boys have been up to the challenge for all of this season, and there's just no difference here. These are very winnable games. Obviously, going to New Mexico is going to be a big challenge, a big task. You have Birmingham, Loudoun, Atlanta. Those are teams that you can beat. You should beat if you want to continue and compete in the playoffs.
And we'll see how they deal with the second half tonight, trying to hold on to a 1-0 lead here against the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Big second half is coming up. We'll also get to news and notes, team of the week, and more around the USL Championship after a break, with Pittsburgh chasing down a 1-0 deficit against Memphis 901 FC.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals. I'm on that routine. Routine.
Cheer on the Riverhounds all season long at Mike's Beer Bar, Pittsburgh's home for local beer. With 21 TVs, over 300 local beers, and amazing food, Mike's is the place to be. Tell your friends to meet me at Mike's, Federal Street, right across from PNC Park.
Back here at Highmark Stadium alongside Ricky Lopez Espin, I'm Sean St. Jacques. Memphis in front so far here against the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. They lead by a Luis Fernando goal to nil. Let's take a look now around the USL Championship and more with the news and notes, Ricky. Obviously the big news of ground being broken for a new soccer-specific stadium in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, which could host a club in 2024 as the league from top to bottom continues to grow. And what a season it has been, by the way, for Sacramento Republic. They're in the playoff hunt in the West, and they're going to play Orlando City of Major League Soccer in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup final.
And that's a reason why the league is growing, right? Because they're doing so well domestically, taking down a couple MLS sides, and now you're going to Orlando City. What a task that is, and what a challenge. But welcome challenge from Mark Briggs and the boys. And then talk about being on a challenge, being on a tear. Milan Iloski cannot stop scoring.
He's single-handedly, it seems, keeping the champs in it in the Western Conference playoff chase, which is really competitive from top to the very bottom. No question about that. 18 goals. He currently leads the race for the Golden Boot. Upcoming schedule in the USL Championship. Big ones in the West. Los Dos against New Mexico United. We mentioned Memphis's trip out to New Mexico. Also the champions taking on Las Vegas. Big one in the East, Detroit City against Birmingham Legion. And if you want to see those finalists, Sac Republic, they take on the Fighting Brendan Burks of Colorado Springs.
And that's one that I have circled, Sac and Colorado Springs. So, so much talent is going to be on display. Talking about talent, team of the week, Rodro Lopez. What more can he do? What he just means to Sac Republic has been phenomenal. Obviously, Cicerone, really good to see Kyle Murphy get on the score sheet again. And I say this every time the team of the week comes out. I think there needs to be an Eastern Conference team of the week and a Western Conference team of the week.
So many guys to choose from, right? Aaron Malloy, who we've seen in our game as well, in the team of the week, and some Birmingham Legion representation. Dean and Martinez getting in there as well. And I don't know, we'll throw it up the flagpole, right? We'll run up the flagpole, the league office. We'll see if we can do an East and a West. We'll take a break. We'll get the highlights, the stats, and the second half to you next here in Pittsburgh. Memphis leading by a goal to nil here at Highmark.
Fun comes in all shapes, sizes, and jackpots. These games, they've become a part of me. They get me excited, make me happy. Although I've never been one for math, I've never had more fun with numbers. The thrill, the suspense, you know, it leaves me speechless. But if there's one thing I have to say, it's how much I love it.
There's a lot of love for the Pennsylvania Lottery, and when you see how fun it is, you'll understand why.
Cheer on the Riverhounds all season long at Mike's Beer Bar, Pittsburgh's home for local beer. With 21 TVs, over 300 local beers, and amazing food, Mike's is the place to be. Tell your friends to meet me at Mike's, Federal Street, right across from PNC Park.
Back at Highmark Stadium, Pittsburgh behind at the moment against Memphis 901 FC, who lead by a goal to nil. Sean St. Jacques, Ricky Lopez Espin. Second half is coming up, but first let's take a look at the first half highlights from this one. A big game, 4th versus 3rd in the Eastern Conference, and we begin with Luis Fernando's moment of magic inside the first 9 minutes.
And it just started with a sloppy turnover, trying to play out of the back from the Riverhounds, and then second balls were massive for Memphis 901. Talking about individual brilliance, this is something you cannot teach. To ride a challenge, to break through a line, and to put this ball into the back of the net through traffic, too much for weight to deal with.
Pittsburgh nearly equalized seconds later through Dixon.
And they had so much success on this right-hand side. Dixon plays high and wide and is very, very, very good 1v1, taking Patrick Seegers for a little bit of a dance. But talk about a big-time save from Trey Muse.
20th minute, Memphis continued to put some pressure on this Pittsburgh back line, and Fernando nearly set one up.
And they're just so good, the front 3 are. As Goodrum peels out to the back post, it's Kiseadu coming down the middle of the field. Fernando 1v1, very good pick out. And I'll tell you what, Memphis 901 can catch you on the break in the blink of an eye.
But then Pittsburgh really started to create chances. Dikwa nearly equalized here.
This is the best part, best opportunity for Pittsburgh Riverhounds. I think if Dikwa takes this ball on this right foot in that second touch, he has a far better angle. That second touch kills his angle, has to go with his left foot and pulls it wide. But this is a good effort here from Albert Dikwa. Good take, good first touch, trying to squeak that into that near post. But again, Trey Muse has been massive for Memphis 901 in that first half.
Yeah, Dikwa came the closest for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, could not quite find the back of the net, and that's where we stand at the moment. Ben Pierman's side just about in front in this first half, but very curious to hear. Obviously, we can't get a fly on the wall in there in that Memphis clubhouse during the break, but very curious to hear what he told his players, because after the goal went in, they did have a couple of chances, but Pittsburgh really asserted themselves and did everything but score, Ricky.
I think he's going to want them to get on the ball a bit more. You don't want to do too much defending against this Riverhound side, because it's a bend, not break. Eventually, that thing is going to break. They're just far too good. Too many attacking weapons for Bob Lilly. So if you get on the ball a bit more, Paul, Allen, Malloy, and give Kiseadu, give Goodrum, give Fernando the freedom to operate in their attacking half. That is when Memphis 901 are at their best. If you're Bob Lilly's side, how clinical can you be? You've been extremely good getting to that final third, but now what you do in that final third is going to make or break this game.
We'll see if Pittsburgh can come from behind in the second half. They normally do so when they fall behind here at Highmark, and of course this season, Pittsburgh has only lost once here to Tampa Bay in 10 Highmark games this season. It's been a good road record for Memphis, 5 wins, 3 draws, and just 2 defeats in 10 road games. And after scoring their first goal ever against Pittsburgh, they're looking to beat them for the first time at the 4th attempt. Pittsburgh switched sides with Memphis for the second half, and the Riverhounds will be going from right to left here on ESPN Plus, trailing by a 1-0 in this 4th versus 3rd clash, with a lot on the line here in the latter stages of this USL Championship regular season. Muse quickly gets his hands on it. Memphis will play this out of the back. Buckmaster sends that too far on this near side for Fernando to keep it in. Pittsburgh quickly win it back via a throw. Cicerone, the target of Dos Santos' throw. Memphis quickly cleaned it up. Forbes looking for Dikwa. Dikwa had the right idea. Knew Cicerone was behind him making a run, just couldn't quite find him. And Muse is all over it. Hey, Hounds fans, make sure to grab the Straub Riverhounds Amber Lager while cheering on the team here at Highmark Stadium. You can also purchase for the Straub Riverhounds Amber Lager at your local beer distribution. This is Aaron Malloy. 8 assists, tied for the league lead this season. Of course, there's plenty of notables on the bench for both teams tonight. Of course, Dane Kelly is available. Danny Rivera as well. Edward Kizza, options for Bob Lilly on the bench. Devin Boyce, David Egbo, Jeremy Kelly on the bench for Memphis. Of course, Knight Pickering just had that wonderful bicycle kick goal last time out against Hartford. He's on the bench as well tonight for Ben Pierman. Cicerone offside. He disagrees. Memphis get a free kick.
The first 5, 10, 15 minutes here for Memphis 901. It's going to be extremely interesting to see how they approach this coming out of the break. What tactical changes did they do against this Bob Lilly side, offensively, defensively? It's okay if you want to go route one. You don't want to play into the hands of the Riverhounds and give a silly turnover like we saw earlier in that first half. How good they are, can turn their defense into offense that can hurt you in all different types of ways.
For those of you on ESPN Plus, constantly changing between games, 0-0 between Lou City and the Tampa Bay Rowdies. It's, I believe, a full house at Lynn Family Stadium tonight. Very cool to see that. It's a good crowd here in Pittsburgh as well. This is Casadu for Memphis 901 FC, sliding it through for Fernando. Can he finish? No, there's 5 Pittsburgh players around him to make sure he couldn't pull the trigger.
But much like I just said for Memphis 901, Pittsburgh as well needs to be extremely clean. The goal conceded comes from a sloppy turnover. This one as well, too much casual, too much time on the ball. It's a good run from Fernando from right to left. It's Casadu at the thick of it.
Luscious ball from Mertz. Dixon on the second attempt couldn't get it past Segrist, who defended it very nicely. And Casadu comes out with it to find Malloy. Now this is Buckmaster, who has room in front of him to work with. Also has Fernando for support. A Rabona flick forward by Fernando. Hello. Ball into the middle from Buckmaster. Ends the trickery.
Take a look at this opportunity. It's the movement, the timing from Casadu to let this play develop. And if you're Fernando, if you take a better first touch with your right foot, you have the ability to strike it with your left foot. You can just see.
Don't excuse me there.
Exactly. You can just see how left foot dominant he is. And the ability, as that second phase gets away from you, you're trying to pull it back to your left foot. If you just turn around and just smack the thing with your right foot, you're so close. It's going to cause chaos in front of the Riverhounds goal.
I think today is National Lefties Day. I think there's a day for I think it is, yeah. Well, Luis Fernando got the memo, that's for sure.
Just have the ability to go right foot, left foot. It's just so, every player knows about it, but it's just so underrated.
Yeah.
Especially when you're in that final third, always keeping your defender guessing. You can strike the ball so cleanly. It gives you just so much more value and a different dimension to your attacking game.
Just confirmed, by the way, that it is National Lefties Day. I'm actually left-handed. Ricky, are you?
There you go. No, right-handed.
Yeah.
I'm not in the cool club.
I know you were ambidextrous as a player, of course, but had to ask.
Giving me too much credit.
Seems like every day's got a holiday like that now.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Shout out to all the lefties out there today. It's been the left boot of Luis Fernando that has Memphis ahead in a game that could take them 5 points clear of Pittsburgh, of course, in the standings with a game in hand. That's the real key part of that. Memphis coming into the night 2 points ahead in third. They would go up to 5 if the result holds. And again, at the moment, Lou City 0, Tampa Bay Rowdies 0. So Memphis actually, if all the scores hold, and that's still a lot to happen between the two games, Memphis would make up ground on everybody in the top 4 tonight. Be a heck of a day at the office for Ben Pierman's group if they can see this out. Lovely ball flicked into the middle. Allen couldn't quite control it. Sent forward by Ordonez. Great touch there by Reese Buckmaster to slow things down. Ball sent over towards Siegrist, who lofts it for Kisedu to chase. Flag is up, negating any further action for the visitors.
And it's a lucky break for the Riverhounds. Kisedu stays on side. It's a 4v4 going back the other way. Just that rotation has been maybe a bit too slow for Bob Lilly's side on that right-hand side. Whether it's Wheat, whether it's Dixon, have to share the load defensively. Memphis 901 have been better coming out of the break, seem a bit more calm in their build-up phase, connecting, passing. Something that was lacking in that first half for Ben Pierman's side.
Nice ball from Smith to find Siegrist. Heard more complaints from Ben Pierman about that last challenge. Ben Pierman is on a yellow card. That should be mentioned, as is Zach Carroll. This is the goal scorer, Luis Fernando. Tried to find Goodrum. Was that handled on the edge of the penalty area by Griffin Bierman? Ben Pierman, I should say, on the near side. Apoplectic, looking for that. Didn't get it. Play continues. Well, that is going to be a story to watch in this second half, as the Memphis sideline get more and more frustrated here. There was a foul and a free kick there. That's going to be a yellow card, I believe, for Dos Santos. Well, the whole Memphis sideline now is having words. They wanted a handball earlier here on Danny Griffin. We get another look at it here. His arm is certainly away from his body when it makes contact.
Yeah, I think they get away with on the Riverhounds. His hand is in an unnatural position. And then we take a look at this foul. From Ordonez just coming over the top of Goodrum. It's not been the first time that's happened from a Memphis 901 player. Getting the worst of that challenge. And Pierman and company are extremely not happy with the lack of cards showing from our center referee tonight.
Malloy takes out a pass for Buckmaster. Kisedu. Fernando had the right idea, couldn't quite execute. Pittsburgh have it on the near side. Sent back forward by Graham Smith. Mertz was dispossessed trying to come out with it. Pittsburgh just send it forward. And the referee blows a stop to the play. This was the original challenge that Ben Pierman was upset about earlier. And actually, that is why Dos Santos was booked. I was going to say the original foul was not on Dos Santos, but the referee, Brad Jensen, went back to that previous challenge to book Nathan Dos Santos. I think what got Ben Pierman frustrated was that Brad Jensen didn't raise his hands for advantage, and that normally is the sign that the referee's going to come back to that.
That he acknowledged it, yeah.
But I don't think Brad Jensen did that, and that's why Ben Pierman was wondering why it was let go, when in the end it really wasn't. Well, Bob Lilly has seen enough. He's going to go to the bench here, and we will see Dane Kelly and Edward Kizza come on here for Pittsburgh. Russell Cicerone will exit. And Dos Santos, who just picked up the yellow card, is also going to exit.
Number 10, Russell Cicerone. Number 17, Edward Kizza.
And Dane Kelly, the all-time leading goal scorer in the USL Championship, enters the fray.
Now, rough night at the office for Russell Cicerone. Highlighted him in the opening because he's been so good. He hasn't really had the service that he would like in this match, but give credit to Memphis 901 and their midfield line and defensive line really cutting off any balls being played into him, getting him in and around that 18-yard box. We'll see what Dane Kelly is, a player that's going to stretch this game. When he stretches it, it's going to leave room for Robbie Mertz, Forbes to come underneath and operate. We have Kizza as well, a player that is extremely high praise.
Dikwa from Kizza. Dane Kelly appreciated the thought. Nobody there in time to get on the end of it.
Already making his impact felt here. Kizza so comfortable on the ball, requires so much attention. I think here Deke was just caught between two minds. So I played across, so I go for goal. In the end, he does neither. But again, if Kizza drops back, and Deke was the one making that darting run from left to right, there has to be a third player involved. Whether it's Kelly hanging around back that back post. We've seen multiple times where the Riverhounds have gone good position, putting dangerous balls across, but no one on the receiving end of it.
Wheat to Williams. Oh, lovely control by Robbie Mertz to keep that in play. This is Danny Griffin. Wheat assessing his options. They're queuing up for Pittsburgh inside of the penalty area. Alex Dixon dispossessed, but Forbes is there in support. Williams, his 100th appearance tonight for Pittsburgh. Mertz with a good ball in, and Kizza, tough angle for him to really get his head around it, sends it over the top.
And you're going to see Robbie Mertz just shift out to his left-hand side with the insertion of Kizza. Kizza's going to step up to the high line, and it's going to be Deke that's going to play underneath Kelly and Kizza now, which is going to push Robbie Mertz to this left-hand side.
Looks like Memphis made a change there. Jeremy Kelly is on. Chris Allen is off. Jeremy Kelly with 5 goals and 7 assists this season for Memphis 901 FC. So both coaches dip into the talent available to them off the bench here as we approach the hour mark. Luis Fernando's goal inside of the first 9 minutes has Memphis in front. And so far at the start of this second half, Memphis has done a good job managing the game. Pittsburgh haven't been as vibrant as they were, especially in the latter stages of the first half. But they've still created chances. Griffin. Far side Dixon. 2 men on him. Wheat just trying to slide it through for Forbes. And it's deflected off of Dixon. Out for a throw with half an hour of the 90 still to be played.
And a tactical change for Ben Pierman as well. As Jeremy Kelly comes in, he's going to push up on that front line, but it's going to play to the left side, which is going to drop Kaseadu underneath Phil Goodrum. Your right-hand side is going to be Fernando, and your middle two are going to be Paul and Malloy. So maybe looking at a 4-2-3-1 formation shift. Just going to give you a bit more numbers in the middle of the field to clog the passing lanes.
Somehow it bounces to Kaseadu there, who's doing everything he can to get past Griffin. Fouls him in the process. Good battle between those two. And Pittsburgh win a free kick. Mentioned it earlier, Danny Griffin has played all but 17 minutes since the beginning of the 2021 season for Pittsburgh. That's 72 straight league appearances for Griffin, and he hasn't missed a league game since turning pro with Pittsburgh back in 2020.
It's unbelievable.
Really is a remarkable stat. He's on the ball here. Kizza out wide for Dixon. Wheat. Dixon's ball in is deflected. Kizza's gonna let this run. Takes a very Pittsburgh favorable oh, I thought it did initially. Referee actually says that Kizza touched it. And it's a goal kick. It looks like it was gonna bounce out. But the assistant referee says that Kizza touched it last. Goal kick.
Give credit to Patrick Seacrest on the left-hand side of the back line of Memphis 901. A lot to deal with. Alex Dixon, Kizza now. Kelly has been up to the task and up to the challenge, answering every single question. When you're playing against a Bob Lilly side, the rotation in the middle of the field is just so hard to deal with. You can see Alex Dixon staying high and wide. It really forces the hand of the outside back. Do I stay with him? Do I stay connected to my back four? And then when you release to confront Dixon, one, you have to be good defensively 1v1 and have the timing right. If you release too soon, there's that massive gap. Release too late, Alex Dixon has the real estate just to blow by you. So it's that fine balance in the decision making as an outside back.
Kelly keeps that in for Pittsburgh and shoots! And nearly scored from some distance and a very difficult angle. Is that a spark for Pittsburgh? It's out for a goal kick after a wonderful run.
And there's just a reason why he scores so many goals as he does. Just a little peek up. He sees Trey Muse maybe a yard or two off his line, decides to try his luck. There's one thing to try it. There's two things to even pull it off. So close, just kisses off the top of the crossbar. That's something you want to see of your Riverhounds supporter. Dane Kelly full of confidence and courageous in his efforts.
Robbie Mertz now for Pittsburgh. Taking a very similar route that Dane Kelly just took. This is Kennardo Forbes. Gets past two, gets past a third. Still Forbes. Couldn't find a teammate in the middle. Memphis clear it. Fernando tries to hold on to it and wins a throw-in under pressure.
Just feel a momentum shift here for Pittsburgh Riverhounds, having a lot of success on this left-hand side with Robbie Mertz, really forcing Fernando to drop back and do his defensive duties and help out Buckmaster. Fernando, a player that wants to get on the ball, wants to be on the attack-minded, not really known for his defensive presence and his defensive efforts, but good on him to help out his right back, who's under a lot of pressure at the moment.
That's a great effort by the substitute Kizza. Fights his way past Buckmaster to win a throw-in. Bob Lilly lives every single moment of every game he coaches. On that sideline, there was a handball appeal in there off of Kizza's pass into the middle. Brad Jensen waves it away. Came off the throw-in. And for the amount that people appeal, there's no VAR. Can't go back and check it, obviously. Another ball sent in towards Kelly, dealt with by Memphis. Kiseidu a push and a chase down this near side. Ordonez does well to cut him off. And Kiseidu fouled him in the process. Good sportsmanship there. This is the handball appeal from moments ago. Oh, it does come off the arm of Malloy.
I think it'll be a harsh PK call, though. Just ball to hand.
Natural position is right.
Doesn't make himself bigger. Doesn't know much about it, Malloy.
Yeah. Certainly didn't extend or react as well. Would have been very harsh to give that. That's the thing, right? Anytime it comes off an arm, you're going to see hands go up. Well, we saw Ben Pierman jawing earlier. Bob Lilly getting a few licks in as well. Sees Graham Smith, who's slow to get up here for the visitors. This is what Memphis has to do, though, to try and grind out a result here. Trying to limit as many Pittsburgh opportunities as they possibly can. Fernando's goal was certainly against the early run of play. Back in the 8th minute. Since then, Pittsburgh, and really before that as well, Pittsburgh have had the better of proceedings. But as you talked about, Ricky, haven't been clinical enough tonight in a big game such as this, as Lucas Turchi is going to come on here for Memphis. inside the 67th minute. And I think that's going to be it for Laurent Kisedu. His night concludes. Turchi is on to try to see it out for Ben Pierman's group.
Number 21, Lucas Turchi in for number 11, Laurent
Goodrum.
Kisedu.
Oh, it nearly squeaked past. It took a deflection on the way through. Jamali Wade, I think, thought it was going to go a lot further than that, away from the goal. It nearly crept in. It's a corner.
It just takes an awkward little deflection here. It just changes the trajectory of the ball. A lot closer than first looked at. Jamali Wade, your heart is up in your stomach. Happy to see that one go wide.
Seen a few odd moments like that tonight. Jamali Wade has been so good all year, just misread that. And luckily for him and the Pittsburgh cause, it didn't cost them. Malloy from the corner. Nearly whipped it off the back post. He's got such a good strike on him, Aaron Malloy. That time Wade, I think, would have had it covered, but it nearly hit off the post. One back by Goodrum. Fernando, the goal scorer.
But again, it's far too casual here from Williams. Very uncharacteristic-like from a Bob Lilly side. Most of the time you see him when they suit up, they're extremely clean, decisive, very quick and high-tempo team.
Wade off his line helping out Williams. Turchi, his first major involvement. Dixon does well to win it back, tries to find Kizza. It nearly falls for Kelly. Muse is there first, but it's given back to Mertz. Pittsburgh have players to aim at up ahead. Forbes. Wheat. Dixon, not a great touch there initially. Segrist pounces on him and is able to clear it away. Only, however, as far as Ordonez, who recycles. Williams. Lovely, delicate, weighted ball out for Dixon. Cross field ball looking for Robbie Mertz. Mertz first time ball in, blocked out for a corner. As Pittsburgh ramps up the heat again here with 20 minutes plus stoppage time to go. And the fans are feeding off of it. Seven assists this season as well for Robbie Mertz, who takes the corner. It's headed back towards goal. Muse all over it before Kizza could pick up the pieces.
And you have to think that comes straight off the training ground. So whipped the ball into the back post, looking for that nod back across. I'll tell you what, Trey Muse from Memphis has been terrific. 2 big-time saves in that first half. Really decisive when he comes off his line, making sure he makes the right decision and sticks by it. Time and time again, you see when keepers come off their line, they get caught in no man's land. Aside from that little cheeky attempt from Dane Kelly, I think his positioning has been perfect for Memphis 901.
Dikwa came the closest for Pittsburgh twice in the first half. Gets it back. Canardo Forbes, so good in these moments, tries to find Kizza. Forbes gets another chance at it. His pass forward was deflected. Great job by Dikwa working back to keep it alive for Pittsburgh. Nibbled at by Fernando. And the ball sent towards Dixon is wayward. Score hasn't changed between Lou City and Tampa Bay Rowdies. Still 0-0 at the half. in that one. Detroit City 0, Oakland Roots 0. That's a big game in both conferences. It's a foul and a free kick there that goes Pittsburgh's way. Another big one in the East as well, Miami leading Atlanta United 2 on the road. That's a big one for Miami FC if they can get 3 points. Could prove to be very instrumental in their playoff hopes this season, trying to make it for the second consecutive year. Great defensive work there by Luis Fernando off of Robbie Mertz, I should say. Goodrum. Great hold-up play by Philip Goodrum. Outside of the right boot pass here. Memphis could be in. Malloy finishes it! Wonderful goal from Memphis 901. A goal that could see them extend their lead in the table over Pittsburgh and seal a valuable 3 points on enemy territory. 6 goals this season for Aaron Malloy. It's a wonderful team goal from the visitors. They're up 2-0.
And I touched on it. Fernando, known for his attacking ability. What about this? Tracking 50 yards back to win this ball. Good peel out from Goodrum to come to ball side. Talk about hold-up play and vision from everyone in Memphis 901. It starts on this right-hand side, comes out to Kelly. Kelly has a timing, which brings in and attracts the attention of the Riverhounds player. Malloy understands that, advances from a deep blank position, and talk about a clinical finish. Talk about counterattacking football. 101 for Memphis 901 to double their lead on the road. Massive goal.
8th assist this season for the substitute Jeremy Kelly. And what a clinical finish from Malloy as well. All started by Philip Goodrum. And Memphis are in complete control here at Highmark and on their way to maybe their best win of the season.
Just through and through. So well worked. So good from Fernando. Helping out his right back. I touched on it, saying he's not known for that. As an attacking player, you never really want to do the dirty work as a defensive. To come out and just put this ball in, and good on Phil Goodrum. As that lone striker, you want to go ball side, because if he stays and hangs out on that left-hand side, there's no connection there. Fernando to pick up his head, just dump this ball into it. The striker, the hold-up play from Goodrum, say, do what you do. You're so good at bringing players in, holding players off. He does just that. And then you have Jeremy Kelly coming off the bench, really reading the situation. Just rolling this ball into the path of Malloy. And then, like you said, Sean, talk about clinical, talk about how good he's been. There's a reason why he gets so high praise, not only from Ben Pierman, but from around the league, USL League One as well. Terrific opportunity, terrific performance from Memphis 901 in the second half.
Pittsburgh did make a couple of changes there. Jelani Peters and Luke Biasi came on. Robbie Mertz and Mikel Williams came off. More frustration for Ben Pierman after he thought his team should have won another free kick further up the field. Turchi is slow to get up here. Brad Jensen telling him why it wasn't a free kick, and plenty of concern now on the Pittsburgh bench. And Memphis have a game in hand as well if this were to go final. As you can see there, not sure if that was free kick worthy, although Ben Pierman certainly thought so.
Yeah, if you ask him anything against his team, it's going to be free kick worthy.
Yeah.
You love to see just the passion from both of these coaches, how much it means to them, how massive of a game this is in the Eastern Conference, how tight the top of the table is as well.
And again, still no score. Lou City against Tampa Bay Rowdies. And what a night it could be in the table for Memphis. If this goes final the way it is, and Lou City and Tampa Bay both drop points, Memphis would stay in third. They'd be 5 points up on Pittsburgh, and they'd only be 2 points back of Lou City at the top of the table. Ball sent in here towards Dixon, too far over the top, and out for a goal kick. Should mention as well that Memphis has a game in hand on Tampa Bay as well. They'd only be 1 point behind the Rowdies as well. What a day at the office it could be for Ben Pierman and Memphis 901. There's still 13 minutes left in this game, but that Aaron Malloy goal has made this a mountain to climb for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds.
And to be honest, it's well-deserved. It doesn't need to be pretty. You don't need to play the most beautiful type of football, especially at this point in the season. Just trying to grind out results, trying to get into the playoffs, and then once you're in the playoffs, I think the quality will come to fruition. To come into this hostile environment against a very talented and well-coached Pittsburgh Riverhounds side. Two clear-cut opportunities, two clear-cut goals. That's a foul there from Kizza. He has to see yellow.
That's what Memphis would like here. That is what happens. Kizza is booked. Memphis win a free kick, and they continue to take time off the clock with a 2-goal advantage.
No, it's something you don't want if you're the Riverhounds. It's a frustration to come through as he comes in extremely late to catch on. Buckmaster there, Kizza. The last thing you want to do is let the emotions get the best of you, and you have to pick up a yellow card here, a red card, whatever it may be, to keep your head, keep your emotions intact.
Especially considering Pittsburgh have to get 2 back if they want to save a point here. Gotta stay composed. Pittsburgh are one of those teams that can pull this off, make no mistake about that. But the way Memphis has played tonight, it really is a tough task ahead of Bob Lilly's group. Well, they always say, right, with 2-goal deficits, it's about when you get the first one. As far as the comeback is concerned, Pittsburgh can get one, then who knows what happens after that. For the moment, Memphis are in control of the ball and of the game. Segrist sending it forward, dispossessed. Kelly picked it back up. Flag is up for offside. Want to watch the action from the field here at Highmark Stadium? If so, make sure to call 412-865-GOAL to reserve the brand new Icy Light Corner Kick Suite at Highmark Stadium. Meanwhile, a penalty appeal for Pittsburgh. Some of the fans made some of that. Kizza was not fouled in the opinion of the referee. Another ball swung into the penalty area. Kizza trying to hold off a defender. Memphis get it away. As they continue to try and see this out. See if some of the substitutions that Pittsburgh made just a few minutes ago, if they can be a factor down the stretch. Biasi coming on, Peters coming on as well in place of Williams. Pittsburgh have 10 minutes to come back. Dixon's ball to switch the point of attack. Good ball in for Forbes. Couldn't quite get on the end of it. Memphis wanted the offside flag there against Biasi. Play continues. Peters, dispossessed by Turchi. Did very well there and wins a throw-in. Memphis want to make another change. We'll get to that in a second. This is the last sequence. Was that a penalty?
Again, it's going to be very harsh for the referee to come and point to the spot here. There is a bit of contact, to be fair, from Patrick Segrist coming in and catching Kizza, but it's not from behind. There's no extension of the arm. I don't see good no call from the referee there. I don't think there's too much into that.
Ben Pierman's going to make 2 more alterations. Jackson Brady is going to come on. David Egbo will join him, and that is going to be it for not only the goal scorer, Luis, well, actually, no, beg your pardon, Luis Fernando just came over to, oh no, it was to give a hug as he was coming off. So it looks like Fernando is off, as is Goodrum on the double switch. So Fernando and Goodrum depart. Brady comes on with Egbo.
Substitutions, number 2, Jackson Brady.
Luis Fernando's goal got it started for Memphis back in the 8th minute. Goodrum was the one who started the sequence that led to Malloy's second.
Good showing from the front three for Memphis 9-1. I'll throw Kiseiru in there as well.
Yeah.
Just so active when they got on the ball. Really putting a lot of pressure on this Riverhounds back line, asking questions, stretching them, combination play. Just takes a bit of brilliance when you have the talent that Ben Pierman does on his front line. They're always going to be in every single game, and those guys stood up and they showed out here tonight.
Ball towards Biasi was a good one, cleared out by Segrist. Pittsburgh have a throw late on here.
Get your tickets at riverhounds.com.
And the Riverhounds come from behind. That took a deflection on the way through. Nearly fell for Kelly. Cleared out for a corner. Good service needed here from Canardo Forbes. It is good service. Peters jumped up highest, didn't quite get enough on it. Pittsburgh have a throw, they take it quickly. Biasi picks his head up. Malloy heads his attempt away. Back in by Biasi. Peters is still up there, tried to find Dikwa. Again, Memphis have it covered. Dixon keeps it in. Does well to find Peters, who has stayed up there to try and cause some havoc. Dixon sends it back to Waite. Fresh legs of Egbo put pressure on him. But he does well to find an outlet. Biasi looking for Dikwa. Good central header. I think that was Smith there defensively for Memphis 901 FC.
And as the Riverhounds are trying to grab that first goal, pumping balls into that front line, it's that second action that it's extremely important. There's always going to be a battle through the center backs of Memphis 901 and your front line. But it's that midfield battle once again that's going to be key to trying to call yourself back into this game. So you're looking at players like Alex Dixon, Danny Griffin, Forbes, that are playing underneath that front line to pick up those scraps, to be able to get that second phase, that second wave of attack. And that's when you see so many types of goals. Defenders that are pulled out of position, really turned off focus-wise. So the last 5+ minutes here for the Riverhounds, something to keep an eye out on.
Well, that's poor there from Wheat and Forbes. Carelessly giving it away as Memphis strengthened their hold on the game here in the final minutes. Want to cheer on the Hounds and be part of the action even during away games? Head to Mike's Beer Bar, the official watch party location of your Pittsburgh Riverhounds, on Saturday, August 6th, 7 p.m. as they'll be on the road. Of course, they play New York Red Bulls 2 coming up after this one. You mentioned it at the half, Ricky. There's some good results. I should say good games coming up with potentially good results for Pittsburgh. But if it stays like this, this will be a blow for Pittsburgh, especially for their top 4 hopes. They would drop to 5th in the live table. And of course, top 4 is where you want to be for the postseason. Top 7 get in, but top 4 host. And boy, will Memphis improve their playoff stock if they can finish this off. And they'll really improve it if the score stays the same in Louisville. Peters, Pittsburgh keep pushing to try and get one back. Should mention as well, expected goals tonight, Ricky. Always an interesting stat to look at. .70 for Pittsburgh tonight. They obviously haven't scored. 0.37.
Wow.
For Memphis, 901. They've scored twice. The epitome of hitting on the counterattack. Kizza out wide for Forbes. Pittsburgh want to get one back here. In the latter stages, they nearly do. Kelly couldn't quite get on the end of it. Muse just palming it away. Is that the key for Pittsburgh? Just get it into the penalty area, see what happens at this point. Memphis have not exactly, in crowded areas, been very good clearing the ball, but they do enough. Turchi can take some time off the clock. Lovely little back heel to find Jackson Brady. They could finish it off here. Great ball across to Malloy, though, is cut out. And that's exactly what Ben Pierman would have wanted. They get the ball down this end of the pitch as time continues to tick.
Again, it just is a very casual in the build-up here from Peters. Takes too much time on the ball, gets his pocket picked, and it's back the other way. And it's been the story of the night for the Riverhounds. Just haven't seen full game speed as clean as we've come to expect from a Bob Lilly side. They had the talent, and talent at this level can only take you so far. You have to show out every single time you walk across that white line. Put your best foot forward. You see how much talent is in this Eastern Conference, especially at the top, fighting, like you said, Sean, for that top 4 opportunity to play at home in front of these home fans. And when the history says the Riverhound side is just so good here at Highmark in front of their fans, see how much they're into it, how much it means for the city. So what's the reaction like we talked about in the open? Tampa Bay comes in here and takes a beating on the Riverhounds. The reaction is terrific. String of results, style of play, nearly untouchable. And now after this massive game, don't really show out, don't really perform at your best. It's a second game against New York Red Bulls, and I'll tell you what, Bob Lilly's boys are going to be ready for that one to make a statement.
This would end Pittsburgh's 3-game winning streak and their 7-match unbeaten run since the loss here to Tampa Bay back in June. It's a long time without a loss for the Riverhounds. If it holds, it'll continue a very nice run that Memphis 901 has been on here. So a shot comes in from Wheat, ambitious, and wide of the target. If it holds, it will be 3 straight wins for Memphis 901 in the league. They will get their 6th road win of the campaign. It will be 4 added minutes, and it will be 4 matches unbeaten for Memphis if they don't concede 3 goals here.
And then we talk about the reaction from the Riverhounds, but what it does for Memphis 901, not only in terms of standings and points and playoffs coming around, but mentally as well, to come into the stadium, massive game, a team that really took a lot of people by surprise, to be fair, how good they've been, how competitive they've been in the Eastern Conference. To have this marquee win against a very talented Riverhound side, what does that do? If you make a deep run to the playoffs, you look at this game and say, look, this is a game that we were under pressure, but we dug down. We showed a bit of character. We showed a bit of fight. And how to win doesn't need to be pretty. Doesn't need to be the best style of football. Just how clinical you are. If you give us 2 looks at goals, we're going to put 2 balls in.
Memphis dealt with that wild sequence there in the middle. Again, you said earlier, it doesn't have to be the prettiest thing there as Biasi is offside there. Memphis haven't exactly been comfortable in the second half, but they've dealt with situations, as they say, they put the fires out when they've occurred. There'll certainly be plenty for Bob Lilly and Pittsburgh to think about, but as we've seen this season, expect them to bounce back. They are going to be a big factor in the East as this push to the postseason continues. About 2 months left of the regular season. Still a lot to be determined. But as we said earlier, this is new territory for Memphis 901 FC. As tempers fray here towards the end. Ordonez was getting into it there with David Egbo. Well, if these two meet in the playoffs, they will remember that. Make no mistake about it. Memphis, again, with their performance, not necessarily with moments like that, showing that they are for real. They are legitimate contenders. Again, they're off to the best start in the franchise's history. And again, like you said, Ricky, new territory, but Ben Pierman's group, they've had some good wins this season, take nothing away from them, but big games this late in the season, this franchise hasn't been a part of many of them. This is a marquee moment for Memphis. It really feels like it, as Ordonez was booked for the last sequence. Can Pittsburgh make it interesting late on here? More good defensive work. Kizza, though, does win a corner with about a minute left.
Yellow card is issued. Riverhounds number 15 or 2 or Ordonez.
Ball is whipped in towards Forbes. Egbo was booked as well, by the way, for the pushing and shoving. Ball is whipped in. Once again, Memphis are well positioned, have plenty of men behind the ball. Kelly didn't deal with that great on that occasion. Ordonez keeps this alive for Pittsburgh. Peters fighting off Leston Paul. And it's going to go Memphis's way. Free kick against Pittsburgh, and that is probably going to be that.
I think it's the arm from Jelani Peters just coming in, really grabbing that shoulder, the neck area of Paul, who, by the way, has been terrific in the middle of the field. And then Malloy covering every single blade of grass defensively. And when they're on the ball, really calming presence. Something you need in the middle of the field in a game like this. That is very high tempo, very high emotion-wise. Someone to put their foot on the ball, really pull that e-brake, get that sense of security and calmness, and say, hey, we can play with these guys. You see the fans are playing a huge factor, but what does the identity look like? And it starts with those guys in the middle of the field.
Last roll of the dice for Pittsburgh. Surely not enough time to get two. Trying to at least get one. We've played the 4 minutes. Maybe for the pushing and shoving, there's a little bit of extra time added on. But that is it. A marquee win for Memphis 901 FC. They win for the first time against the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, and they do it at Highmark Stadium. Goals from Luis Fernando and Aaron Malloy seal up all 3 points for Ben Pierman's group. They win it by 2-0, and they are in very good shape right now in the Eastern Conference.
And it's a massive win for Memphis 901. Not many teams come into this stadium against this team with this fan base and blank them, nonetheless score 2 goals. Well deserved. Ben Pierman has to be extremely happy, and the happier of the two managers, obviously.
We'll take a break here in Pittsburgh. Massive victory for Memphis 901 FC. They win it by 2-0. We'll wrap it up next.
Feels good to be off the sidelines, doesn't it? Oh yeah, it does. That extra effort with AHN Sports Medicine got you back here. With every specialty set, custom training day, and personalized drill, you bettered your body. Now line it up. They don't see this move coming. Told you. Go next level with AHN Sports Medicine.
What a win for Memphis 901 FC. That man, Aaron Malloy, tucked home the second of 2 Memphis 901 FC goals to win it here at Highmark by 2-0. Sean St. Jacques, Ricky Lopez, Espen. Let's go back through how this all went down here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Full-time highlights from Highmark. It all started with Luis Fernando's second goal of the season to give Memphis the dream start.
And he was just so good on both sides of the ball in this match. It comes from a sloppy turnover from Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Just trying to play out of the back was a story of the night. Not clean enough, and Fernando, ability 1v1 to split a couple of defenders and catch Jamali Waite just off his line, and then it goes back the other way. Talk about a reaction. Talk about what's a response from Bomb Lily's side. And Alex Dixon in the first half had a lot of success. 1v1, putting balls into dangerous areas. And Trey Muse, talk about a big-time game from a big-time goalkeeper. Well done, the Memphis 901 goalkeeper.
Then Albert Dikwa became a big part of the fray. He had 2 chances in a row midway through the first half. Couldn't score either one of them.
Yeah, he's going to be kicking himself not to find the back of the net. Good opportunities in that first half to find. Talk about Fernando again. In the second half, was asked to do a bit more defensively. This time, Dane Kelly gets in behind him. Kind of catch Trey Muse off his line. Very cheeky, but just kisses off the crossbar. This is the part that I've been talking about, doing both sides of the ball. That's an attacking player. Right outside his 18-yard box, springboarding this attack after winning the ball. Talk about a hold-up play to draw in not 1, but 2 Riverhounds defensive, and then, yeah, outside the foot over about 40 yards. And it's Jeremy Kelly. You can just see the little peek over his right shoulder just to roll this ball in, and then it's about Will Malloy beating Danny Griffin to the end of it. Yes, and they can flex a muscle too on the road. Give credit to that, and that's how he ices the game.
And talk about team goal. That might have been one of the best team goals of the season in the USL Championship. Full-time match stats, 15-5. Pittsburgh outshoot Memphis, but always the big one. Shots on target, 2 apiece, and Memphis scored both of theirs.
Yeah, you don't need many looks at goals. What matters what you do with your looks at goal. And the same with possession. Pittsburgh Riverhounds really had more of the ball as you watch this game. But once it got to the final third, it seemed to break down far too often with the talent that Bob Lilly has. Not on the same page through combination play. We saw Dikwa have a couple good looks at goal. Russell Cicerone didn't really have what we come to expect from him. But then the other side, Memphis 901, 2 shots on goals, 2 goals. That's all you can ask for from a Ben Pierman's boys, and well-deserved victory.
And as we sign off here, Lou City have scored against Tampa Bay. So if that holds, Memphis move up to second in the East. And they did it in style. 2 big goals. Fernando and Malloy led the way, and Ben Pierman's side leave Highmark Stadium with all 3 points in a first-ever win against Pittsburgh. For Ricky Lopez, Espen, and our entire crew, I'm Sean St. Jacques saying so long from the Steel City. Memphis win it by 2-0.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.
Behold, Ben Pierman did just that, and it's proved to get huge dividends for this Memphis